Hey everyone, back again. Welcome back to the video review. This time I thought, as I mentioned in my last video, I thought I'd talk about the characters in Age of Extinction. I didn't describe them, well, I described them well. I didn't go really in depth to them in my Age of Extinction review. So let's begin. Obviously, Mark Wahlberg as Kate Yeager, pretty awesome. Pretty funny, a little overprotective, a little schizophrenic, but not bad. Very good character and pretty badass. And hopefully he can patent some more alien weapons in the future. Jack Rayner as Shane, Tessa's boyfriend. Pretty awesome. I wish we could get a little bit more backstory. Maybe a bit of a love scene, sort of ish. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I'm not saying Michael Bay needs to put a porn scene in his films. I'm saying just maybe like at the end of the first film when Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox were kissing on Bumblebee's hood. Have something like that. Or we're making out on Bumblebee's hood, rather. Anyways. Titus Williver as James Savoy, the leader of the Cemetery Wind. Badass all the way. Loved his ending, or loved his demise when Wahlberg used sports to fucking kill him. Like, I'm not even joking. I already said in my review. He used a football to conquer a knife. And kicks Savoy out of the window and dies. Wouldn't that be awesome in real life? Anyways, it defies all logic. Not really. So there you go. And then, of course, Stanley Tucci as Joshua Joyce. Funny as hell. He's pretty much the comedy that John Turturro had in the 3 films as Agent Simmons. Although he wasn't urinated on or brutally paralyzed in Dark of the Moon or whatever, that kind of thing. No. Stanley Tucci would pretty much roared at by Grimlock, scared the hell, and he wanted to just cower once he turned on to Kate Yeager's side. Or the Autobot side, for that matter. Nicola Peltz, obviously, as Tessa. I've never heard of her. I know this is like, she's an up-and-coming star. She's going to be a great star in her future. She did well. Obviously, yes, she yelled dad a lot, and she was crying, complaining, whatever. And I know in the final battle of Hong Kong, Shane and Tessa were exchanging kisses and holding hands while lying on their stomach trying to protect themselves in a freaking glass box while Hound and Bumblebee are trying to defend the nation. I know. I'm a little... Anyways, this is a little out of character for me in my videos, but... oh well, times changed. So that's really Stanley Tucci's character. Li Bingbing as Stanley Tucci's assistant. Not funny. Awesome, badass, kicked the crap out of some of the Cemetery Wind guys. Very awesome. Pretty awesome and overall epic. Kelsey Grammer as Harold Attinger. Or is it Attinger or Attingar or however you pronounce... Anyways. Someone in the comments tell me how it's pronounced. Like a video response or whatever, because I don't know how it's pronounced. I think it's Attinger, I think. Kelsey Grammer's character was friggin' unreal. Yes, he's the main human villain in the film. But he's just so dark. He wants Transformers to die. He wants humans... well, doesn't want humans to die, sort of. But he wants to make a lot of money. Right? That's his goal. His fate, though, as I mentioned in my previous 2 or 3 videos, when Optimus Prime kills him, when Attinger has Mark Wahlberg at gunpoint, that, I think, well-deserved fate for a guy who pretty much is responsible for both the deaths of Ratchet and Leadfoot. And presumably, we don't know for sure, at the time of this recording, Sideswipe, Jolt, Skids and Mudflap, and Wheelie potentially. I don't know. So that's really Kelsey Grammer's character, Harold Attinger. And is there any other human characters I left out? I don't think so. Anyways, let's get on to the Transformers. And the Transformers in this film, badass as ever. We'll start off, obviously, with Optimus Prime. Badass in the movie, all the way. Killing humans, specifically, in the Texas, at Kenny Yeager's home, when he busts out of the shed and blasts at the Cemetery Wind guys, and of course killing Harold Attinger in the final battle in Hong Kong while he's dealing with lockdown. Pretty awesome, and obviously him turning both into a Marmor into a rusty 1973 Marmor 97, later on a custom-made Western Star 4900. Pretty cool. Very awesome. And of course he sticks with his traditional flame schemes he had in the previous 3 films. Very awesome. Obviously Optimus Prime, he pretty much leaves a cliffhanger obviously at the end when he flies into space with the seed, going out to the creators. I want to talk about the creators in a minute. Alright? I don't know what the creators are, because that's another plot hole that Lockdown left out, and I'll get to him later on. So that's Optimus Prime. Pretty awesome, and I don't know where the hell he got those friggin' space jetpacks on his feet. After using the Jetfire in the second film and the jet contraption he had in Dark of the Moon. I don't know. Bumblebee, very awesome. Pretty cool. He didn't do much, but he did what he had to do, essentially. Yes, again, he turns into an old Camaro like he did in the first film, and then, of course, he scans the 2014 Camaro concept. Pretty awesome. And his rivalry with Stinger I liked. And I'll tell you why. Bumblebee has a lot of rivals in the film. In the first film, it was Barricade, alright? It was Barricade the whole way, even though Bumblebee didn't kill him. It took up to the third film, really, because Bumblebee being the ever-loving crap and brutally murdering Rampage in Revenge of the Fallen. That was pretty awesome and a little weird too, alright? And killing Ravage as well. Ugh. That was pretty brutal too. Alright? And then the third film, in the final battle, in the Chicago fight, you see him kill Barricade and Soundwave. And that's it. Alright? So he has like a total of, let's see, Barricade, Ravage, Rampage, Soundwave, and Stinger. So that's 5 guys that Bumblebee's killed in the course of the 3 films combined. And that's all Bumblebee pretty much does at the end. But I like the rivalry with Stinger. Pretty cool. So that's Bumblebee. Let's see. Drift. Drift was amazing. Pretty cool. This is weird. He's a triple changer in the film. I didn't mention this in my review. He's a triple changer. Yes, he turns into the Bugatti Veyron, but then you see him turn into a helicopter. And there's a toy coming out of him as the helicopter, though it's a repainted and retool of Skyhammer from Dark of the Moon. There weren't any good angles or shots of Drift in helicopter mode. How the hell do you know they're supposed to know that? But I'm glad they did it. They made Drift into a helicopter toy. Pretty cool. But Drift was awesome. Yes, he's a former Decepticon. It's never mentioned in the film. Could have been mentioned in Rise of the Darkspark, the game, and I'm going to review that, guys. For those of you who want me to review Rise of the Darkspark, I will review it once I get my hands on it. But Drift overall was pretty damn awesome. Loved him a lot, and I'm a fan of Bugattis. Not gonna lie, I like other cars too, specifically Lamborghinis, and the car that Stinger is, I don't know what it is. I remember it, but I can't remember. I know it's used a lot in like European races, you know, like European leagues for races. Anyways, so there's that. There is Drift. Crosshairs was just like awesome. Him in the trench coat look, pretty friggin' amazing. And him telling, telling both Mark Wahlberg and Shane to how to fire the guns on the hovercraft, the hover ships, was pretty funny too. And of course, him destroying, him flying in the air like you see in the trailer and like you see in the film is pretty cool. Very, very cool. But, and him just having that attitude is pretty cool. And yes, there was a lot of character development in this film, which is nice. So there you have Crosshairs. Hound, oh my god. Hound was bonerifically fucking amazing. John Goodman's voice for Hound was awesome. Like, I'm excited to review Voyager Hound, because he comes with all the weapons that he uses in the film, minus his combined Gatling gun of death. I know, it's crazy, it's insane. Yes, like he uses his shotguns, he uses his handguns, he uses his knife, his dagger. He uses his hat, he uses his belt, he uses his bullet cigar when he and Bumblebee and the others are separated late in the film. Amazing. Hound is one amazing guy. I'm glad he made it through the film. Because most of the people in the film were like whispering, like when I was in the theater watching the movie with my girlfriend, the people next to my girlfriend were like, oh, is Hound gonna die? Is Hound gonna die? Anyways, Hound is gonna be amazing. Hopefully his role doesn't get reduced if there's a 5th Transformers film. Probably there will be because of the ending. Now, quickly on the minor characters. Obviously, Ratchet. Unfortunately for Ratchet, yes, he dies. Because pretty much out of the main core group that came in the first film, alright? The original 5 Autobots were just Prime, Bumblebee, Ironhide, Ratchet, and Jazz, alright? And then, obviously, the main 8 for the Decepticons, which was Barricade, Blackout, Scorponok, Frenzy, Megatron, Starscream, Bone Crusher, and Brawl. They're all dead for the Decepticons. Alright? But for the main 5 Autobots, it's Jazz, Ironhide, and Ratchet that are dead. Because Jazz died in the first film when Megatron ripped him in half. Ironhide died when Sentinel Prime became an absolute asshole of an idiot and killed him and turned against him, alright? And then Ratchet, of course, brutally murdered by the humans and Lockdown combined. And obviously seeing being melted down for transforming him, that's when pretty much Optimus Prime got the last straw and just yelled, I'm gonna tear them apart, that kind of thing. Sorry, that's my best Optimus Prime angry voice. Because obviously, as leader of the Autobots, you never want to get in the heat of the moment. That's my best Optimus Prime interpretation. Sorry, guys. So there's Ratchet. Leadfoot, obviously, like, this is another thing. I already mentioned Jolt, and I've already mentioned Sideswipe and Wheelie, and all those that survived in the 3rd film but never appeared in the Age of Extinction. Like, yes, we know Leadfoot's dead, but what about Twin Twist and Topspin? Like, where are they? Did the humans kill them too? Like, Michael Bay leaves so much plot holes for the characters that don't show up. Like, they don't appear. They don't even get mentioned, alright? Anyways. But I'm glad they kind of, like, reacted to both Leadfoot and Ratchet's death. Because no one reacted to Ironhide's death. I'm still mad about that. Ironhide's death was never even mentioned. Like, after he was killed by Sentinel Prime. And Jazz, yes, at the end of the first film, they mourned for Jazz. But why not Ironhide? You leave him out? Okay. Let's just say your best friend gets killed and you forget about him for the rest of the... Let's say I was in a film, my best friend gets killed, and I forget about him. How is the audience going to react to that? Exact same way as they're going to react to Ironhide. total BS written all over Michael Bay's script. And really, nostalgia critics' take on it for Michael Bay, like, taking your own, like, private parts and using them is, no, I don't buy that for a second. Anyway, so that's Leadfoot. Yes, it was unfortunate. But I was also kind of hoping to see funeral scenes for, like, for the Transformers and whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, there's that. I mean, for Leadfoot and potentially other guys that are dead. So you have that. Alright? And also, I would have wanted to see maybe a cameo appearance by either Juan Pablo Montoya or Kyle Larson, who drove the 42 Earnhardt Ganassi Chevrolet in the NASCAR series. Same with Dale Earnhardt Jr. Same with Jimmy Johnson for Topspin and Twin Twist respectively, because they're armored versions of the NASCARs they drive. Anyways, those were just my hopes and wishes. But anyways, no big deal. All right, so enough of me rambling about Leadfoot and all the other characters that didn't make it in the fourth film. Oh well, Michael Bay. Anyways, so those are the Autobots right there. Speaking of Sentinel Prime, I forgot to mention about Sentinel Prime. His head makes an appearance in the film! I'm not gonna lie! His head makes an appearance in the film when the humans are working on the parts from the Chicago fight. And they're working on Sentinel Prime's remains. It's insane. And here's another thing I forgot to mention about Optimus Prime. How did he get his arm back? I think it was his left or right arm, I can't tell. I think it was his right arm. How did he get it back after it was sliced off by Sentinel Prime in the final battle? Like, yes, we know he scanned the Marmon 97. But we don't find out how he got his arm back. Like, is that part of the Transformium shit that the humans created? I don't know. I don't know how Optimus Prime got his arm back in the... It's never explained. It's never mentioned. All you hear from Optimus is that he was attacked by humans, he scanned the truck, blah, blah, blah. Anyways. Bogus. That's a fucking missed plot hole. Anyways. So they have that. So, where was I? Yeah. Done talking about the Autobots. Decepticons. Not a whole lot to talk about. I'm going to go real quick because I'm just done rambling here. We'll start with Stinger. Stinger, interesting. The car mode looks great. Love his fate, well deserved, because obviously I already mentioned with Bumblebee. Not much to say about that. Lockdown was a badass. I'm sorry, Lockdown was a badass. He looked amazing. I'm not even kidding. Like you see, he has a spark extractor, a hook like he has an animated, and his gun turns in, and his face turns into a gun. And the actual deluxe toy does that. That's insane. Like, how is he gonna see where his target is? Does he have a targeting system? I know he has a face shield when he meets Optimus Prime on the highway. But wow. And Lockdown's face, I know people are saying it looks like Optimus Primal. I don't think it looks like Optimus Primal. Yes, it looks humanoid. Now the creators. Who the hell are these creators? There's no... You hear mention from them, but you don't see them, or you don't hear any backstory of them. That's obviously going to be for the fifth film, if there is a fifth film. Anyways. A little bit of bullshit written all over it by Michael Bay. So many plot holes, but that's okay. It's good for what it is, and I like it. Because it brings up the suspense. Who else am I missing? I'll talk about the drones real quick, and then I'll talk about Galvatron. The drones in the film were interesting. Yes, you saw Junk Heap once. You see him in one scene where he transforms. And the way... Quickly, before I get about Junk Heap and all them, they transform like screensavers. The human-made Transformers transform like screensavers, unlike the Autobots and the Decepticons. Like, yes, you see Optimus Prime and Enter transform normal, but when you see Galvatron and Stinger turn into their vehicle modes and robot modes, they disintegrate, and then they reanimate themselves. It's cool. I like it. I know it's impossible for Hasbro to do in real life, but it'd be kind of cool, like a little Slinky toy that can do it, a Slinky Transformer, or whatever, or like a Screensaver Transformer. That'd be cool. Anyways, I'm sorry, I forgot about Brains. Brains was hysterical. Not gonna lie, Brains was hysterical. He was used as a lab rodent. He was used as their pet lab rodent to like analyze and examine all the parts from the Chicago fight in Dark of the Moon. He was funny too. But yes, he was on the Decepticon side, but he's an Autobot now. And he doesn't transform. I know, from my understanding, he turns into a desktop computer. Anyways, I'm interested to see if we'll get a toy of him. So there you have Brains there. And going back to Junkheap and all them. Yes, you have Junkheap, you have the Traxxas, which is pretty much different colored Chevrolet Traxxas. And then you have two-headed Shockwaves. You have the Steel Jaws, which are the dogs, the wolves that Lockdown has in his ship. His henchmen that are lookalikes of Lockdown. I don't know. Anyways. So they were interesting too. Very interesting. Going back to Lockdown real quick, his alternate mode was insane. I liked it. The Lamborghini Aventador Coupe, pretty cool. It was actually a model that came out last year, which is pretty neat. I'm a fan of Lamborghinis, but I don't know. Since Lockdown died, I know I should probably be against it since I don't trust Lamborghinis that transform into giant robots that have transforming hooks and spark extractors or heart extractors, soul extractors, and fucking faces that turn into guns and blow the crap out of things. Anyways, it's been 20 minutes and I've been rambling too much. Anyways, and Lockdown's fate, by the way, awesome, well deserved. Good teamwork by Bumblebee, Cade, and Shane and Tessa to, help Optimus kill Lockdown, which was pretty awesome, I should say. Very awesome killing, where he bisects him in the chest from behind. Well, stabs him in the chest from behind, and then bisects his face in half and kills him. Upward, yeah. So it was cool. Galvatron. Galvatron was interesting. Yes, it's Megatron reborn. But seriously, the idea of Megatron still being alive after the events at Dark of the Moon, I do not buy it one bit. I'll tell you why. You don't see Megatron's head move at all. Yes, you see the little insect things go through his head in the flashback when Brains is talking about his side with Megatron and whatever. But he's not alive. Yes, his thought process may be alive, but his whole conscious and whatever, no, it's not alive. Hello, it's not. Anyways, but Galvatron was interesting. I hope he has a much bigger role, like a much expanded role than he did in in this film. Hopefully, once Transformers 5 comes out, if there is, hopefully Galvatron has a big role and he has a much better fight with Optimus Prime than he did in this film. But it wasn't bad. He takes a page out of Iron Man's book and has a nuclear arc reactor in his chest. That's pretty insane. And I know Stanley Tucci's character said he hated it. I know the other guys disagreed with him, but I know Joshua Joyce hated the nuclear arc reactor. Just saying. Galvatron's vehicle mode, I've heard it's a 2012, last year's model or this year's model of the Freightliner Argo C semi-truck. Seeing Galvatron as a semi-truck is badass. G1 fans are going to hate it because he's not a friggin' space cannon or a 10 changer like in Robots of Disguise or a tank like in Armada or a Cybertronian jet. in an Energon or friggin' triple changer jet to race car of doom in Cybertron. Anyways, Galvatron was phenomenal, and he's another guy that I'm really excited to review once the toy's released. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the characters. I may have missed out on them. Mentioning Barricade, he's seen briefly, like in the Dark of the Moon footage, which is interesting. Oh well, it was nice they showed stock footage from Dark of the Moon via like eyewitness accounts. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, overall, the characters in this film were badass. Lockdown especially, same with Harold Attinger, same with everything. Awesome, enjoyed it, loved it a lot. I loved it. The characters were awesome. I hope they come back for the fifth film. Well, obviously not Kelsey Grammer's character and Titus Welliver's character. I'm curious to see how the characters will end up in the fifth film. But you never know. And Bumblebee needs to talk. He needs to talk through his own voice. He can't talk through the radio anymore. I'm sorry. I like it. The moment where he knocks over the Stinger statue and he plays Can't Touch This through his radio when Shane is trying to calm Bumblebee down over the Stinger thing. That was fine. But Bumblebee needs to talk. He hasn't talked since the first film. In the credits, Mark Ryan, who does Lockdown's voice, he does Bumblebee's voice too. I don't know about that. I don't know about that for a second. I've actually met Mark Ryan too, 5 years ago, I think. Yeah, 5 years ago at, specifically at TFCon 2010 in Toronto. If you may have remembered when I reviewed the exclusive for Nightbird and the other figures I got there too. You'll probably find out from there. Anyways, guys, that's my thoughts on the characters. I hope you all enjoyed it. There are going to be more video reviews coming, like Transformer video reviews. They're going to still be coming. What else is going to be coming? Just some other things, if anything comes up. But pretty much it's going to be Transformer video reviews the rest of the way. You never know. I've been busy, which is why I haven't posted a video in almost 2 weeks this month. But it's okay. But overall, the characters in this film were badass. The characters in the film were badass. Yes, they have had their moments, but that's okay. Anyways, guys, those are my thoughts on Transformers Age of Extinction, the characters, specifically. I hope everyone enjoys it. I hope everyone, especially Baruta Zaru, loved it. And yeah, so take care, see you soon, everyone. Have a good day, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.